When I got off of being a hobo, I went to the Salvation Army soup line, and he came out, the captain, and he says, how long you been on the road? And I says, oh, 2 or 3 months. And he says, well, when you get done eating here, you come up to my office. And I came up to his office, and he said, I can give you a job and a suit of clothes, and it'd probably be $1 a day for now. And I agreed to it. I met my wife. She was in the Salvation Army band. She was the bass drummer. And we met, and there was another fella, he kind of wanted her too. But she chose me. We walked and walked all over Tacoma. That's where I was when I got. And then we got married in the Salvation Army. Her name was Ruth Margaret Barnett, but her name was actually Margaret Ruth Barnett, but she didn't like the name Margaret, so she went by Ruth. And Ruth, you know me, is in the Bible. It says, Ruth says, "Where thou goest, I will go," and that was the kind of wife she was. She was just wonderful. Every time I would go into business or something of that nature, where if I had a down day, where she would go back out and work. She worked for Woolworths and places like that, restaurants. And she was always there when I needed her. Oh, she was beautiful. And when I was in the Army, she was in the Todd shipyard and worked there. And when I came home, she had all my money in the bank. And when I got home, I bought a car. We didn't have any honeymoon. We were pretty poor. My first home was $12 a month payments, and I could barely make them. And I worked on buses for 11 years, off and on. I was so good that I could drive on there. And then I worked in a sawmill, and I rode the Ross carrier and picked up lumber. I remember the first time the boss he says, you want to drive one of those boss carriers? I said, sure do. He says, well, there's one. Get to pick up that lumber and put it up there on the dock. So I picked it up, but I didn't get it cinched tight, and it all shot out, this plain lumber. I just went back and stacked it all on, cinched it up tighter, and went back on. He says, you got the job.